All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to design the courses page. So I've already zoomed in here on the finished product. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the navigation just like we did in the home page. Then we're going to add a page bar or a header with the page name here, courses. And then we're going to add the text featured courses or a header, again, a header title. And then we're going to add the thumbnails for the HTML5 course, the CSS3 course, the JavaScript course, the jQuery course, the SVG course, and then we're going to give it a call to action. So enroll, you can do buy now, whatever you want to do is fine. And then at the bottom of the page here, we're going to do a footer. Okay. So that's what we're going to be building in this lecture. So let's jump right into our starter file. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the home artboard. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to select the nav bar. Okay, I want you to right click. We're going to copy. And we're going to hold the space bar down and click and drag to the left. And we're going to select the courses artboard. I'm going to right click and we're going to paste in the nav bar. Okay, so that takes care of our first asset that we need to add to the page, which is the nav bar. Okay, so now we're going to save with Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Okay, and next what we're going to do is we're going to build out the top part of the page here. So we need to get the height of the header for the page name. Okay, so you can see the height here is 85 pixels. Okay, and you can notice something else. The transparency is 95%, but we're using the same color as this. It's the same color, but you see the opacity here, or the transparency, is 100%, and here it's 95%. So what that does is it takes it from a dark blue to a lighter blue, just a little bit, a 5% less of a blue, basically. Of this blue, I should say, not of the blue, but you get what I'm saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this rectangle right here. So we're just going to remember 85 pixels for the height, and then let's build that. So let's go here and we're going to grab the rectangle tool, and let's make sure we're in the artboard, the home artboard here. Whoops, not the home, sorry, the courses artboard. Don't pay attention to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and we're going to draw this out. Okay, so we draw that out. We drew that out. Now we're going to give it a height of 85 pixels. We're going to turn off the border, give it a fill of our favorite color here, and then we're going to give it a 95% transparency. Okay. Then what I want to do is open up the finished product. We're going to copy the course's text, and then we're going to paste it into that element. Okay. And then we're going to group this as page name. So let's call it page name. That way we know what the page is. Kind of think of this as your breadcrumb, okay? Then next we're going to do the featured courses text. So I'm going to copy that from the final product here, and I'm going to paste that in here. Okay, so we have featured courses. And then we're going to kind of skip ahead here a little bit. We're going to select the HTML5, and in fact, I'll do one better. I'm going to delete the featured courses here. We're going to go to the home artboard, and I'm going to select the featured courses group. I'm going to copy that, and we'll bring it over and paste it. And then we'll just bring it up. And we'll make it 50 pixels from the page name. Okay. So basically we've knocked out 2 of the 4, well, 2 of the 5, I think. Let's see if it's 5 or 4. Yeah, we've knocked out 2 of the 5 that we need to build. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to try to minimize it. Okay. After crackling with my voice, I'm good to go now. So I apologize for that. As I was saying, we basically copied over the HTML5 thumbnail and the CSS3 thumbnail. So all we need to do now is add the other 3 thumbnails to this. So if I minimize this for a second, and then we look at the finished product here, okay, I'm going to minimize this one as well, and then we'll open up the starter project, and then I'll bring the finished on top so we can see it. All we need to do, and I'm on the wrong area here, if we go to the courses page, which I'm on now, all we need to do is copy this and then drag them down here and then replace it with these images here. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. It won't take too long. So let's do that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to grab the CSS file. Okay, I'm going to hit Command C on the Mac, Control C on the PC, or you can right click and copy, whatever you want to do. And then we'll just paste it. Okay, now it's just going to paste it on top of itself. So I'm going to bring it down and we're going to line it up and it should stop us. Oh, it doesn't want to stop me. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to bring that in here. Okay, and I'm going to call this JavaScript. Okay. And there we go. So now it's going to be, so the gutter is going to be 53 pixels between each image, right? So we'll just leave it as that right now. And then I'm going to copy this and we'll paste it. So I did Command C, Command V, and then just bring it down. Same thing, it's going to be 53. And this one's going to be jQuery. Okay. And I'll bring that below the JavaScript folder because again, I want to set it up to where you're going to see it, how you're going to see it on the screen. So if HTML is on the top, it should be in the top in the layers. So it's easy to find things, okay? Then the last one we're going to do, I'm going to right click and we're going to copy. Okay, and then I'm going to right click and paste. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to drag this all the way down. Okay, right there. And then we'll change this to SVG. And then I'm going to bring it below the jQuery folder. Okay, there you go. All right, so now the featured courses as well need to be below the page name, right? So that way we know, okay, our assets for the nav bars first, then the page name, then features. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command S to save. And then what we're going to do is open up the finished project. And I will double click on this to be able to grab the JavaScript file. The JavaScript thumbnail, I should say, is not a file. I want to grab the jQuery file as well. So I'm going to hold Command. Okay, so we have both those selected. So we selected the jQuery and JavaScript thumbnails. Now we're going to select the SVG thumbnail. Holding Control on the PC and Command on the Mac. I'm going to right click and we're going to copy this. Then we're going to minimize the finished project here. And what I want to do is I'm going to paste that here. Okay, so we should have 3 images. And I'm just going to put it in the page next to it, and then we'll bring them over, okay? So the first one I want to bring over is the JavaScript image. So I'm going to right click and we're going to cut this, okay? And then I'm going to go here, double click this, double click it again, and then delete, and then paste. So right click and paste, and just put it in its place here. So we'll line it up, and then I'm going to bring it to the bottom of the group. That way it'll show up the way it's supposed to. And then we're going to do the same here. So I'll just right click and cut. We'll go to the complete CSS course thumbnail, which is going to be jQuery. And then we'll paste it in here. Okay. So just paste it in there. And then bring it down to the bottom. And then delete the CSS file. Right? And then bring the jQuery image up. So that way it easily is accessible, right? And the layers line up. Then the last one is the SVG. So what we're going to do here is we'll do the same thing, right click and cut. And then we're going to double click on the SVG folder here and paste it in. So right click and paste. We'll double click and delete the CSS image, and then we'll line it up with the button. And then we're going to bring it to the bottom of the SVG group. Okay. I'll save that. And now when I zoom out, you have all the images lined up and they're evenly divided, and it's beautiful. Okay. Now the last thing we want to do is we want to add the footer. So we're going to go to the home page and we're going to copy the footer, not the footer background, the footer group. Okay, I'm grabbing the wrong thing here. Select the footer, and then we're going to right click and copy that. Okay, and then we'll come over here and paste it. And there you go. So that's how we build the courses page. Now let's go over a summary of what we built. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. We'll do a little more than that. Okay, there we go. So the first thing we did is we added the, and before I talk, let me add the footer to the bottom. Okay, so the first thing we did is we added the navbar, which we copied from the home page. Okay, we brought everything over. Then we added the page name. Okay, then we added the featured courses content. We copied the HTML and CSS content from the home page, and then we copied them and pasted them 3 more times, and then brought the thumbnails in from the finished product. Okay. Once we did that, then we added the footer at the bottom and the page was complete. So that in a nutshell is how you create the courses page. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.